My name's Kyle Morrison. I'm the Artistic Director of Yirra Yaakin Aboriginal Theatre Company and also the Director of Honey Spot. And this is
George Shiftsov. I am an actor in the Honey Spot. I act.
And you play the part of?
The Ranger.
Yeah.
The Ranger.
Not pronounced
Forest
properly.
Ranger. He's sort of a calm employee, basically.
And if you look at the spelling wrong, it could be the Ranger. Basically, Honey Spot was written in a time when reconciliation as a phrase, as an overarching sort of political idea of how we can all work together. Before that phrase was really coined, and Pop Jack wrote a play about these two young people who grew up in the bush together, not really having any of that I suppose, influence of racism or ignorance in that regard, and they come together through friendship to develop a dance piece that's based around traditional Western culture, which traditional Western dance, which I call ballet. Well, I call ballet traditional Western dance. You know what I mean? And then blending that with traditional Aboriginal dance, or specifically Noongar dance as well. And throughout the play, these guys are striving to bring this dance piece together, but in doing so, they need to have, I suppose, their family input, and they need their families to actually sort of come together. So that way, it's not just these two trying to bring this idea of a hybrid dance together. So you actually need the cooperation of everybody around, and that's not as easy as an idea.
Where I come in. Basically.
That's right. That's right. I mean, ideally, it would be just easy for kids to just go and play and work together and create something that is truly Australian and truly their own. But unfortunately, not everybody feels that way, and that's the I suppose the range of character.
Yeah, and I guess my character goes through a learning curve, and a discovery. I mean, that's what's really great about the writing is that sort of we each character grows in an understanding of the situation, but in totally from totally different perspectives.
Well, that's different points of view. And that's the beautiful thing about it as well, is that everybody, all the characters from the play are actually coming at it from a different angle, and it's the power of that friendship between Peggy and Tim which really brings these guys together. And reconciliation isn't coined or isn't talked about or isn't actually we're not actually aiming for it in the play, or the characters aren't aiming for it, but it's something that comes out naturally. And I really like the idea of reconciliation coming out of two people, and it's a personal relationship before you start getting it muddied with the idea of a government policy, and before bureaucratic stupidness gets in the way, not just a really technical term there, but true reconciliation doesn't come from whole groups of people trying to get together. It comes from
legislating.
All of that stuff. It has to come
from
individuals and two people.
Personal experience. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. For me, there's a line that gets repeated from both a Noongar point of view and from a white perspective, and that's and we're both kind of guilty of it in a way, because we both say some things just don't mix. And it's kind of, the play says yes, things can mix and do mix, and we can get together, and we can work together. Yeah, I mean, live together.
Well, it's those blocks that we put up to stop stop ourselves from approaching people from different cultures and people that we're not really comfortable and familiar with. It's those blocks which will eventually get wider and wider and higher and higher. I think the less it's talked about, but it's actually shown in the dance. I think it's the blend and the amalgamation of these two cultural styles that really extinguishes the idea of separation. The idea of that we are actually different. That's what I would say. That's bullshit. That's not true. And we are actually more alike, and we actually the universal themes of love and respect and tolerance and faith and things like that we share them as humans. It's only the blocks that we put up that separate us. And I think my favourite bit for the whole play is when they actually do the dance and they're striving to bring these two cultures together. But what we did in rehearsals, what we found was that there's a new piece, there's a new dance, there's a new style coming from these two different cultures that are half a globe apart, but really at its essence, it's the love of dance. It's the love of storytelling. It's there's lots of different things we found, just in the different philosophies in the dances, where the ballet is very, very light and very, very, I suppose, graceful, very, very fluid, very,
very specific forms.
Yeah, very structured,
very
precise. And you have to smile, even though you don't want to. The young ballerinas are having to do this sort of stuff. And the difference between that and the Noongar dance that we found was, in Noongar dance, you dance for that country. It's deeper, it's more earthy, it's more rhythmic. So in blending those two styles together, we found that ballet has got that earthy tones. Ballet has got that real connection to whatever the story you're telling. Most of our dance is telling the story of our animals, or it's telling the story of our culture and our country. And ballet, we found, really does that. And so does, there's not really much difference, only in the end product. In creating the dances and creating even the musical styles with the didgeridoo, we had to keep cutting it down until it was in a C. And you don't usually do that with the didgeridoo. You get the didgeridoo and you play it. But this one we had to cut it down and fine it down until it was in sync with the cello, because the cello has a definite structure to its music. The didgeridoo doesn't. We play it out of our guts, out of our spirit. But when we're putting it with the cello, which is one of the most soulful Western instruments I can think of, we had to sort of not compromise, but just bring the didgeridoo into a key that would work with that. And so when they blend together, you don't know which sound is making what, and you don't know which influence a certain part of the dance comes from. So basically, you've just got this amalgamation of two total different styles and cultures, but it's all one piece, and we're all, it's all one story and love of the dance. So come and check out Honey Spot at the Yirra Yaakin Theatre Space. And we're running as part of the City of Perth Winter Arts Festival every Thursday, Friday and Saturday night till the 25th of June, and you better hurry up because tickets are selling pretty quick.
And there are the odd matinee on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday that you can get into as well. So,
but all the school kids have taken them.
Well, not all of them.
Not all of them.
Some.
There's tickets here and there.
Some tickets are.
Ring Andrew at Yirra Yaakin on 9202 1966.
Or check out the website.
Check out the website. There's pictures of George.
Is there? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm hot.
You are.